PNC News First is presented by the Bank of Guam, the People's Bank. Pizza Hut, we're taking pizza to where it's never been before. Taco Bell, the only place where you live Moss. Colgate, the #1 brand recommended by dentists. And IT&D.
PNC News First, broadcasting live in high definition from Tumon, Guam on KEQI and KTGM and on KPPI on Saipan. Here is your PNC News team.
Half a day and good evening. You're watching PNC News First. We are live from the Broadcast Center at Akanta. I'm Jolene Tovis. Thanks for joining us. Topping our newscast tonight, monkey see, monkey do. That old adage appears to apply to rumors of riots being planned at some of our island's public school students and weapons turning up on school grounds. Here's more. PNC received 2 reports that GDOE students were planning riots. The first report was received from a George Washington High School teacher who indicated that there were rumors of a riot being organized by school students last week. The teacher disclosed that the rumors of the riots were started in an effort to, quote, copycat the riots which occurred at John F. Kennedy High School and Teedson High School. The rumors of a possible riot resulted in increased police presence at a GW pep rally held at the school last week. No incidences were reported. The second report was received from an Ukudu High School parent who indicated that there was police presence at the campus on Wednesday in response to rumors that fights would break out. The parent indicated that Ukudu students were using social media to plan the riots. After receiving these reports, PNC reached out to GDOE spokeswoman Isa Baza to confirm if the department had knowledge of these rumors. In response, Baza stated, quote, "We have received rumors of potential fights over the past few weeks. When this happens, steps are taken to ensure school safety by requesting additional school resource officers or Guam Police Department presence at the schools. We thank the Guam Police Department, the Judiciary of Guam, and Student Support Services Division for the continued support in our efforts to ensure school safety. We also thank our student leaders for working with their school communities to promote a safe and positive school climate," end quote. But riots are not the only concerns surfacing in the public schools. This video depicting what appears to be a knife concealed as a pen indicates that the concealed weapon was found at Jose Rios Middle School. In another post on social media, weapons concealed as hair combs were posted with the warning, "Parents and school administrators be aware of these combs," end quote. Baza confirmed that the pen concealing a knife was in fact discovered at the middle school. With GDOE officials on alert to prevent potential conflicts in light of the riots, Baza confirmed that Teedson High School was placed on a shelter-in-place procedure just before 10 this morning as the school was searched for contraband. School resource officers were dispatched to assist administrators with the operation and found brass knuckles. Once the item was found, Baza says that the all-clear was given at 12:45 this afternoon. According to GPD spokesperson Sergeant Paul Tapau, the police department did not respond to this incident, and Baza says that the issue will be handled administratively. In regards to the photo depicting knife combs, Baza says that they have verified that the photo did not originate from Guam or any GDOE schools. They urge the community to scrutinize sources of information. In other news, Cannabis Reform moved several steps forward with the passage of the Secure and Fair Enforcement Banking Act at the U.S. House of Representatives this week, and the recent push by several state and territorial AGs for the passage of the strengthening of the 10th Amendment through entrusting state acts. Here's more.
A bipartisan coalition of 21 attorneys general has urged Congress to pass the Strengthening the 10th Amendment to Entrusting States Act or similar measures that would allow legal cannabis-related businesses to access the banking system. The coalition is led by District of Columbia Attorney General Carl A. Racine, who said that current federal banking laws, which reflect the federal status of marijuana as an illegal drug, force legitimate cannabis companies nationwide to operate mainly in cash. The STATES Act would bring billions of dollars of existing cash transactions into the regulated banking sector, subject them to oversight, and reduce the risk of both violent and white-collar crime affecting the growing marijuana industry. The coalition is led by Racine, New York AG Letitia James, and Nevada AG Aaron Ford, and joined by attorneys general from 18 states. Although Guam is not a signatory to the letter, Guam Attorney General Levin Camacho informed News Talk KF7 that Guam supports this initiative. The legal cannabis industry in 33 states and several U.S. territories employs hundreds of thousands of Americans nationwide and is expected to generate revenue between $50 to $80 billion over the next 10 years. Current federal law prevents banks from providing services to these state-regulated businesses, which forces them to operate almost entirely in cash and poses serious safety threats to its employees. This is Luella Lucina for PNC News.
Thanks, Luella, for that report. Following the passage of the SAFE Act at the House of Representatives, it would have to get the approval of the Republican-controlled Senate. Meanwhile, the STATES Act awaits congressional action following the call made by the AGs. Guam Customs and Quarantine gave the public a sneak peek into how they conduct container inspections at our island's port. With the recent repair of the container X-ray scanner unit after a year of it being inoperable, customs officers demonstrated for island officials how the machine works. What you are about to see is the mobile X-ray unit taking a peek into the containers to see if what's inside matches what's on the cargo manifest.
Backscatter images, so what it's doing is bouncing off of thick objects, the thickest piece of metal, and then because it won't penetrate. That'll be the ideal type. That's another type of system. But this is backscatter, so what it's doing is bouncing off of atoms, of molecule items, or thickness of metal. You basically could see what's already at the edge of this, at the edge of the car. So whatever, if it was smuggled in between the fenders or in the tires, we'd be able to see that.
This is the anomaly.
Yeah, that's what we're looking for, is anomaly, something that doesn't look like it should be there.
The customs officers indicated that they are able to screen at least 20 containers a day. If the X-ray scanner picks up something not disclosed on the manifest, that item can be confiscated and the intended recipient fined. In addition to this, Customs K9 unit was on site to showcase their drug detector dogs in action. The unit has added 2 K9s to their team. K9 Cappy and his handler were more than enthusiastic to show us what he is capable of. Let's take a look. Cappy and his K9 colleagues cut down the time it takes for an officer to manually search vehicles which have been deemed as high-risk cargo for the importation of drugs. On average, it takes about 2 minutes for Cappy to sniff out a vehicle for drugs, as opposed to his two-legged co-workers who would take about 30 minutes. Cappy has been on the team for 5 years and contributed to nearly $15 million of drugs being seized and not making it onto our island streets.
These are all the resources that we're going to try to provide the port and the officers at the port so that they can do their job and start intercepting these illegal drugs that are coming in.
Well, a bombshell was dropped several days ago as statements made by the FBI allude to impropriety happening within the judiciary of Guam. Let's take a look. FBI agent Rafael Fernandez testified in the District Court of Guam earlier this week that an FBI informant revealed information not only regarding the illegal activities of Jotnya Mayor Jesse Blas, but also the dealings of his alleged associates and former colleagues, the Judiciary of Guam Marshals. The statements indicated that former DOC Deputy Director and JOG Marshal Joey Terlahi was present during an incident at a Jotnya home where the mayor punched a woman he was romantically involved with in the face and then held her captive for 3 days. The agent also revealed that the informant told the FBI that JOG marshals would engage in sexual acts with individuals who would be otherwise incarcerated in exchange for their freedom. This revelation, however, appears to be news to the judicial branch. Court spokesman Sean Gumatauta stated, quote, "The Judiciary of Guam has no knowledge of any facts that would support the allegations alluded to in proceedings before the U.S. District Court of Guam," end quote. But this is not the first time allegations similar in nature has been weighed against a marshal of the court. The Superior Court of Guam was sued in 2008 as JOG Marshal Alan Eckley was accused of sexually harassing another JOG employee, Debbie Perez, between the years of 2002 and 2006. The complaint alleged that Eckley made unwanted advances, used intimidation, and threatened Perez. While that case was dismissed in 2012, the District Court, in a decision to deny summary judgment, stated that the Superior Court of Guam, quote, "did not commence an investigation, did not speak with the alleged harasser, and rather than make clear that sexual harassment was not tolerated, it seemingly endorsed the allegations as mere horseplay," end quote. Eckley was rehired as a JOG marshal last year. Meanwhile, Governor Lou Leon Guerrero provided comment on the allegations weighed by the FBI, which have resulted in the resignation of DOC Deputy Director Joey Terlahi, who was also a JOG marshal prior to moving to DOC.
I respect his decision to resign and take care of his family and move on. So that's basically it. I appreciate his doing that and respect that.
While the governor reassures the staff at DOC that operations will continue and that the leadership will be stabilized, the governor intends to sit down with DOC Director Sam Brennan upon her return next week to conduct an assessment. PNC asked the governor, in light of the statements made by the FBI, will the administration be looking into the allegations?
I don't know what happened at the court hearing. I wasn't there, and there are no charges being made. So I really don't want to comment in case they are moving forward with investigations. I really, again, don't know what the allegations are. I think whatever systems and processes are there to provide justice and to provide due process and to assure integrity in administration and in governing, we of course will follow it. We'll take that direction and even be the leader in that if we have to be.
The governor took the opportunity to reassure the public that the Leon Guerrero Tenorio administration is one with integrity, transparency, and accountability to the people of Guam. Well, we have to take a quick break, but coming up next, Guam EPA expedites the processing of insect repellents, and National Preparedness Month ends with a grand finale. We have the details. Stay with us.